Hey everybody, happy Monday. It is the last day of November. How crazy. And also a full moon, if I'm not mistaken. I believe there's a couple of things going on. I don't know a ton about it, but there is really a lot of energies coming really strong right now. There's an eclipse and a full moon. And this particular full moon has a lot of energy around bringing up unhealed wounds and things like basically change. And so I did pull some cards. I got a stack here that I'm hoping that will tell a story, kind of put them in order, what I was guided to share. And if you don't know me, I'm Rachel, and I created this channel to be able to talk about things that I feel passionate about, but I also feel I'm very intuitive, and I pick up like this here. I pick up on a lot of energies, not always from me, but I do also believe a lot of the stuff that's going on is kind of a collective energy. There's a lot of shifts happening and change coming for a lot of people. And even though like one person may be feeling it for one aspect of their life, a lot of us are feeling it in different ways. But we can all be able to discuss this kind of stuff. And I like to help people bridge the gap of understanding between their energy body, which is their soul, nothing to do with religion, and integrate it into who they are at a physical level, mental and emotional. And I really love tapping into that and my own self, and helping others guide them to their own inner selves. And the way to do it is not only just being intuitively guided to share, but also fun way to do it is using tarot and oracle cards, which is basically your energy, your higher self, your higher self consciousness, and even your super consciousness, which is like your access to the higher realms, work together energetically to help provide messages. There's nothing magical about them. It's just your energy body connecting with you in a physical way. And when you ask to receive messages that support, I was getting a channeled message that to talk about this, and another one I'm going to do is about what does it mean to be healed. I thought that was what I was going to do today, but I was guided to do this instead, and haven't really figured out what I'm going to call it yet. But basically the card overall theme today that I pulled when I got to my work was don't judge your beginnings harshly. But the message that I kind of was just about judgment, not judging yourself or others, honestly. And I know I have a hard time with that because, things happen to us, people do things to you, and it can cause a little bitterness and resentment and like judgment. You can pass judgment onto somebody, like trying to make sense of why they did certain things to you. But as you'll see with the cards and what I'm about to share, that, nobody can really do anything to us without our energetic involvement somehow, or consciously taking actions, believing what that person is saying about us or what they did to us. And we attach energetically to things when we believe it's somehow true. So anybody can say whatever they want, and it can sure make you have feelings and stuff like that, but it's through like actions that we take that we start to really get into the karmic patterns, and karma is just consequences. There's good karma too, that we can create for ourselves by being in alignment with who we are, speaking our truth, and aligning ourselves with people and situations that are right for us. We can create good karma that way too, and attract good friends and good jobs and things like that. And as we heal and change and grow and all that jazz, we start to change those karmic patterns. So like we're not really stuck. But what's cool is the line of work that I'm in right now, I can access soul record information, energetic records. I know how to access that. Those higher realms, I guess, which is your energy body and mine, and learn what kind of things are kind of coming up as blocks and restricting you would be able to create what you want. So going into that higher realm of like the energetic side of each of us, I kind of got the download that this would be a topic to talk about. And I did this work for myself and found out what my giftings are, and communication is one of them. So I can talk at length for a topic. As you can see, it's already 4 minutes in and I haven't even said anything of value. But I think you'll find this of value. So it's very easy to judge ourselves and others, but when we start to kind of understand like who we are at a soul level, and then when we kind of start to understand like what blocks and restrictions, kind of like unhealed traumas, we have kind of running programs in our mental and emotional body can really, and energy body can really help us understand like why we attracted certain situations or people, and it can really help to bring compassion to other people in the things that they do to us, even as nasty. I mean, I've been through some nasty things, and it's taken me a long time to have compassion for the people who I feel wronged by. But really, now that I know, like, I had programs running of certain things from unhealed traumas and wounds from even before I was born. Kind of, you know, epigenetics is the study of how like ancestral patterns and blocks affect your DNA and your choices and things like that. So I had some programs running which attracted certain situations into my life. Now, I know it sounds really harsh to think about like the fact that people attract abuse, but it's true. Like if you have an energy body, if you have an energy running a certain program of, if you ever heard of like that victim perpetrator energy that can kind of run, that can kind of play out until it's healed. So I pulled a tarot card today. And like the overall energy, collective energy that I felt kind of would go along with this. I knew it was going to be about judging, not judging others, and to try to have compassion in yourself and others and not judge. The card came up of Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So it says failure, ill luck, broken sequence, unexpected bad fate, outside influence is not contemplated, wait and then try again. But also the Wheel of Fortune in the upright would be destiny, fortune, fate, outcome, advancement for better, culmination, conclusion, approaching the end of a problem, unexpected events occur. So when it's in the reverse, it means like unexpected change might be likely to come into play. So change is likely to be affecting a lot of us now, and a lot of it may be negative or unwelcome, that we may be going through challenging times that may be difficult to adjust to. Obviously 2020 has been nothing but that, but even furthermore, like going a little deeper, I really do believe there's like a change energy going on, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the moon cycles. I do believe in the eclipse there's a lot of energy that shifts when that kind of stuff happens. Like if you've been feeling like, okay, finally kind of got back into a groove and things have been kind of going along well, and then all of a sudden unexpectedly they started falling apart. If that's kind of like certain things in your life, whether relationship, health, business, I don't know, whatever, suddenly kind of the deterioration has kind of left you feeling powerless and out of control, and it may seem like there's external forces are working against you, but that's actually an illusion. So I don't know if you've been in that kind of energy where, wow, all of a sudden things that were just fine and you didn't have to worry about are all of a sudden come to the surface as like majorly out of whack. That's kind of actually happened for me. So that's an illusion. And what I mean by that is that there may be some outside factors influencing your current situation, but most likely if you got to the root, which is, I'm really good at that. I love getting to like the root. What is the root? I'm like that. I've always been like that, even with my health. Okay, like, great, my kid has eczema. What's the root of that? Why are they doing that? And, you know, there's usually some kind of reason with their organs being sluggish or foods bothering them or whatever. I also like that in the emotional, energetic world. Like, these are the kinds of questions I ask, even in this realm. So why I said it is an illusion is because, yeah, there may be some outside factor. I took notes, sorry. There may be some outside factors influencing your current situation, but most likely it's a result of the decisions that you've made in the past. And it may be calling you right now to take control of your situation and take ownership of your choices. That is hard to do because a lot of us are really good at pointing the finger whose fault it is. The victim. Okay, sorry about this here. Put this like this so you can't really see it. The victim mentality, that's not our fault, and we're really good at that, especially, I don't know, like this year, really apparent at how many people like to point fingers and abdicate responsibility for their life and justify their shitty behavior by the things other people have done. Well, okay, so right now what we're being asked is to learn this may be going on. But it's also a really great opportunity to learn karmic lessons here that will help us move on to a brighter and better future. And to know and trust that the ups and downs are part of life, and we learn more from hardships than we do from good fortune. So I don't know if that resonates with anybody. It did for me. So think about any area of your life that you may be feeling like this coming into play. Like I said, it can be business, relationship, health. To look at it a little deeper, that there probably were choices that were made that impacted that. feeling that you're having. So in the past, we may have surrendered to the idea that we can fix someone else. Kind of looks like Peter Pan, but she's got a sling, like a bow and arrow set. Kind of a magical tree. I don't know, the picture doesn't resonate with me at all. Usually I'm really deep, but I don't get it. It's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. So when I was thinking about this, I was really thinking about relationships, but really the energy behind it can go into anything. Like I said, work-related, health, friendships, family relationships, romantic relationships, business relationships, the way you relate to money, the way you relate to yourself. The energy behind it is what's important. So, a lot of times we can get into relationships. Like if you kind of are an empathetic person, you kind of have like an unspoken, you don't even know, an energy running of feeling the need to like take responsibility for other people. This can really, really affect you if you feel like you need to always be fixing people, and that's how you give and receive love. Like a lot of us don't realize, like at the root of like, why do we get into relationships? Why do we attract those certain things? Are we doing it because we think we should be doing it, or because we feel out of guilt, or out of like abandonment issues, or like, like the root of like, if we really look at the situation that we're in right now, the thing that's kind of feeling out of control and beyond our control, even though it's really not, did we get into that situation for the wrong reasons? What am I looking outside myself for that is already within me? That's a question we can ask a little further to get deeper on this. Are you looking for more guidance, confidence, peace, wisdom, love, or something else? When we search outside ourselves, we can become overwhelmed, frustrated, and never feel quite good enough. It's time to go inward and find everything you seek. All the answers you need lie within you. You can today, if you're into essential oils, breathe in your favorite essential oil. I would say even doing breathing without oil is fine. Inhale deeply into your belly, drop your shoulders, and spend some time hanging out with your soul today. Remember, this is not religious. I mean, you can be religious, but your soul is your energy part of you. Ask for what you need and be ready for answers. Because when you really get to the root of like why things happen, and if your things are kind of spiraling out of control, and you actually take a deep look, you can actually see, if you really ask for the information, you'll be given to it like, whoa, yeah, wow, I got into that job, that relationship, that friendship, that addictive behavior based on this, like kind of going on. And once you get that understanding, it's like you can realize that the energy that you put out is equal to the energy you receive. So if you're putting out like a guilt kind of energy, you're going to attract somebody who makes you feel guilty. If you're putting out an obligation energy, like doing things for people out of obligation, people are going to come to you with asking you to like obligate yourself to things. If you're looking at things like always feeling abandoned, self-abandonment, you're going to attract relationships that are going to eventually be unfulfilling to you or emotionally unavailable, or people are going to walk out of your life because that's the energy that you're still vibing at, that's unhealed in you. And that's the kind of cool thing about the work I'm doing, is I can find out the root of unhealed trauma. So you can get to the root of like what the programming is running and heal that, so you don't keep attracting that. Because if you don't heal it, it's just going to keep going all throughout your life and get unhealed, and you're going to keep attracting various situations, possibly in different areas of your life with that same kind of energy running. The ever unfolding rose. I love this card. This girl is like totally surrendering to her heart, opened up with a flower blooming, like just understanding, the deeper understanding that everything that's happened to you is happening for you, not to you. Because technically nobody can really do anything to you without giving them permission. Like obviously, unless if somebody has a gun to your head and your life is really in danger, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like, if you feel voiceless in a relationship, if they didn't have a gun to your head and made you feel that way, you gave your power away to them and decided that, yeah, I must deserve to be voiceless in this situation. I became voiceless and the other person took your voice. It's like the program runs both ways. So, and if you're the person that's maybe very controlling, manipulative, and is that perpetrator energy, you're going to keep attracting more victims. I mean, when you think about that, until that's healed of like needing to control and exercise power over someone, and then always attracting people like that. I mean, a lot of those people have a lot to gain for that. That's why they do it. But that's an unhealthy relationship with themselves that they have, that they feel like they need to control and manipulate other people to get love or to get money or to get security, whatever. We do these things, we attract these things, and make these choices for a reason. Usually it's out of love, safety, sex, money, validation, power, fame, I don't know, attention. Like, there's a reason why we do these things, why we get into these relationships that we know are, or work situations that we know are not in alignment with who we are. And if we don't know who we are, then work with me. I can help you figure out who you are at a soul level. And that really helps, knowing, so you can align better with that and stop attracting things that are out of alignment with you and learning the hard way, like I've had to do. So this one says, you possess the determination and dedication to consciously demonstrate love. So I really don't know how this fits in, except I can intuitively just getting that, accepting somebody for who they are, even the assholes in your life, that's the most loving thing that you can do. Really accepting, like, I see you. I see exactly who you are. I see what you're up to. I see what's going on. And accepting them for who they are, and stop trying to fix them, change them, force things to be different, begging them, pleading them, and just accept it for who they are. You do you, boo. I'm going to do me. That is, like, I think one of the most loving things that you can do for somebody. Even if they're in perpetrator mode and you're victim, like, I still think knowing who they really are and accepting them, people don't have to wear the mask and play so many games and control and manipulate to get with their way if they could just really be honest. If really people could just really stand up and say what they want. But know that you are giving your power away. You really are a badass. Act like it. Yeah, we're giving our power away. We really are, in so many different ways. Spirit, moving fast because I gotta go in a little bit. Spirit animal. I've never really been a big animal person. I love animals. I want them to be taken care of. But I actually had a reading done on me before I started my journey, and I had somebody tell me that animals are really a big part of my life. And I was like, at the time, I was like, no, like, we have an animal, but I wouldn't say I'm, like, super attached emotionally to animals like my family is. I see, like, I love babies the way some people love their animals. I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad or good thing. I'm still a good human, and I want them to be cared for and loved, but, like, I don't feel attached to them. But it's interesting, as when she said that, I started thinking about that. I'm like, it is an interesting relationship I do have with my dog. Like, my dog follows me everywhere. She's very in tune to me. She lays at different parts of my body that I feel like need healing. She's little enough. So I've actually heard that animals can pick up on, like, their human's energy, and will sometimes lay, like, by their feet or by their hips or by their heart or, like, their head when their human is out of balance in some ways. So I kind of started paying attention to that, and then I did notice, like, oh my gosh, animals are always around me. Like, I had a bird literally fly into my garage. I had pulled into my garage and I was thinking about something, and I was really sad about something, and a bird literally flew, a robin, I believe, flew all the way up into my garage, all the way to the front of my garage, stood on a handlebar and looked right at me, like, in my garage, and I made eye contact with it, and it flew away. And then I looked up the meaning of that particular bird, and it was very relevant to what I was going through. So since then, all kinds of creatures, like, things will, butterflies will land on me, grasshoppers will literally jump on me, things like that. I don't know why I said that. So I really do believe animals do play a big part, and this one is Own Your Power, the Raven. So I guess the point of this message was that to not judge yourself for why you attracted certain situations and got yourself into certain things. And if you're going through something like that tarot card said, it's kind of life-changing right now, that seemed like it was going along, but it might have been an illusion that it was actually really going along. You might have actually been in something that was based on illusion, that wasn't based on being in alignment with who you are. It's maybe not something you actually really at a soul level, pure-heartedly and authentically wanted or desired and went after. It might have been something that you attracted out of obligation energy, out of guilt, out of shame, out of, like, fear of failure, out of fear of abandonment, of, you know what I mean? Like, of programming running on instead of, like, just pure unconditional desire for that. If you take a look at, like, what the root of it was, you can start to have compassion for yourself to see why you got into certain things and why you attracted those other people. And you can really just have a passion all around and love for others.